He-chan, don't you slack off either. What are you talking about, I say. Shizune continues. Aren't you taking part in the festival, He-chan? You are, aren't you? Then I hope you're going to do a lot more to make sure it goes smoothly than this person. I don't understand why Shizune is suddenly getting mad at me. Why am I being dragged into this again, I say? I've done more than enough, I think. If you're angry with Lilly, that has nothing to do with me. Now wait just a second, Lilly says. Are you implying the president is more right in scolding me than yourself? Ah, damn. I think I could have worded that better. No, I don't know about that, but I mean, I stammer. Shizune signs. What are you saying, He-chan? I reply, it's just that I hardly think it's fair you can say that, seeing that I've helped you guys. The mood has changed. This is like a showdown between two gunfighters now. Well, it was like that before, too, but this time Shizune's focus is on me. And so is Lilly's, though she keeps quiet. I'm afraid I inadvertently pissed her off. Shizune signs. Are you saying I'm wrong? What a dangerous situation. I carefully say, it's too early to argue with you. Yes, I think it's unfair of you to get on my case. Shizune signs again. He-chan, you want too much, but you have a point. Okay. You're not lazy, He-chan. Ha 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 ha! Shizune pushes her glasses up with her thumb, almost approvingly. She continues signing. That's good. If you're not useless, you shouldn't let anyone say you are. But the next time I say it, it'll really be because you are disappointing me like Miss Class Rep here. So don't let this go to your head. Lilly takes the jab silently, a venomous visage frozen on her face. Class Rep, Shi-chan says, don't forget that report, please. I won't, she replies. Would that be all? Yep. Then good day to you all. Her voice would cut the air of the classroom into half if it was more tangible. Lilly leaves the room, understandably in a bad mood, but still managing to be as poised and calm as usual. Shizune, I say, you really did go a little too far today. It's true, Shi-chan, just a little. If I had been expecting Shizune to grudgingly admit I have a point there as well, I think I was expecting too much. She doesn't respond. She begins signing. Ha ha ha! Shi-chan thinks you should mind your own business. He-chan, we have a few last-minute things to take care of before class. We might be late, so can you please cover for us? Yeah, I say. Perfect! Yay! Okay! Thanks, He-chan! They walk outside even though there are only 10 minutes left before the bell will ring, signaling the start of class. Hanako doesn't come to the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lilly was looking for her if I see her later. After the events of this morning, class is pretty boring in comparison. I turn the pages of my textbook lazily. We've been covering the same amount of pages each day, so reading ahead is more or less giving myself a preview of what tomorrow's lesson will be about. The class clock at the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. The rhythmic clashing of chalk on blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, not noticing Misha's head poking over my shoulder until she is almost on top of me. What are you doing? I ask her. I try to strike a balance between being quiet enough to not draw attention to myself, but loud enough to draw hers. What are you doing, He-chan? Panic shoots through me as Misha starts talking at her normal volume, and I sputter out a hasty reply, still keeping my voice down, despite the fact that she just blew any hope of being discreet I may have had. I'm copying down that stuff. What are you doing? I say. Why so loud? Aw, really? But it's all in the book. That's why no one else is copying it down. I know, I say. Why are you so loud? Why are you so quiet, Hee-chan? It's hard to hear you. I look around to see if anyone is noticing our conversation, and it's pretty obvious that everyone has, even the teacher. Shizune smiles coyly, and I begin to wonder if Misha's doing this because she told her to. Is it because of what happened between her and Lilly earlier? This is what I get for trying to be reasonable, for trying to take the middle path. Shizune is way too prideful, although by now I should know to expect that kind of behavior from her. Why are you doing this? I ask. Huh? Misha is totally oblivious to the awkward stare the teacher is giving both of us, while trying to balance her textbook on one finger. For a brief second, it looks as if things could get ugly, but the teacher simply looks away as if it's not worth the trouble. I guess this is a good thing, and I slump back in my seat in relief. The rest of the day passes by uneventfully, and this time I'm able to appreciate that it does. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry, so I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with crowding in the hallways. I notice Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune's signing so fast that her hands make noises like swords cutting through the air. Misha is trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business, probably way over my head. Not just that, but Shizune also seems angry, although it could just be her normal severity making it appear so. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle, and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters, and then on top of that, she has to sign back anything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished, and the girls sit down on their seats again. I am so tired. She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. Festival preparations must be tough for you, I say. Indeed, the people in this school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before or after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune starts signing at me, and Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well, it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. Well, we're in the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. Sarcasm, I ask. Huh? The tone of Shizune's actions make me think she is speaking with disdain, but Misha interprets it normally, replacing whatever intent may have been there with her own chipper twist on things. It's still disorienting. I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Never mind, I say. How could I forget with you two trying to get me to join at least twice a day? Ha 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 ha! But Hee-chan, some could say the work is too much. It'd be nice if students were to show a little more support for their leadership, some appreciation to the ones who are working so hard to make it all possible. Maybe, for example, a little help. That's asking too much, is it? Yep, help would be appreciated from students like you. If students would show their dedication and school spirit and offer some help, well, I don't exactly need it. but I wouldn't necessarily refuse it, so it would be nice if someone would. Oh, hello. I look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door. Hey, playing delinquent again? Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Shizune signs. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the point where only her fingers can be seen wrapped nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she is showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lilly. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. They seem to have momentarily forgotten about trying to get me to stay for the rest of the day. What is it, Hanako? I ask. Has Lilly been here? Sorry, Sato is not here. She came by in the morning, though. Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back at her with her usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course, Shizune isn't going to look away, and she is intimidating enough as it is, so I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It is a little funny, though, watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of two different extremes meet, it seems. Do you know where she is at? Hanako asked. Shizune signs. If she has any sense in her head, she's in her classroom working on her festival project, but who knows where that woman is loitering at? She might be slacking off somewhere. What a useless woman. Hanako nods quickly and retreats with haste, obviously to avoid any further contact with Shizune. Unfortunately, this turns their attention fully back onto me. But Hichan is not useless, right? Right? He said so himself. I can see where this is going, and I do not want any part of it, not after that experience yesterday. Well, good luck with your preparations, I say. I start packing my bag, ready to make a break for the exit. Unfortunately, I'm all the way on the other side of the room. The short distance to the doorway seems like a vast no-man's land to me now. Shizune and Misha both start maneuvering slowly in front of me, cutting off my route of escape in an unsettlingly cautious way that makes me think of ship-to-ship combat. I think Shichan is saying that you should help us, Hichan. Gee, I wouldn't know, I say. She's so subtle. But that's the intent, so please? I can't keep up. We have to actually build stalls for the festival. Almost all of them, all by ourselves. Can you believe that? Hammering boards together over and over again for hours. It's really hard. I'm so used to it, I was doing swinging motions in class, and I didn't even know it. She bangs her desk a few times, imitating hammer blows. It's so repetitive, I can't stand it. And yesterday, I actually hammered all the boards on top of each other. It was just a stack of boards all nailed together, and then I had to take it apart and do it all over again, and I got yelled at and laughed at. I say. So? She clamps a hand down on my shoulder and grins, quickly running her tongue across her teeth mischievously. Do you have any plans for today, Hichan? I wonder if you do. Sure, I have plans, I say. Really? You're going to help us, right? I notice her hands are moving constantly. She's signing everything we both say so that Shizune can understand. Shizune is being somewhat quiet today. Is she still angry? Well, probably at least a bit. I can see it in her eyes. But this could also just be another way of trying to guilt me into lending her a hand. I have to find a way out of this. Hey, I should go now to the library, I tell her. You know, homework. I should get going, shouldn't I? I have to be diligent because I'm a new student and all, so I have to make a good first impression, right? Yeah. See you later then. I turned to bolt for the door, but Shizune is blocking my path, her arms crossed over her chest and a stern expression on her face. She wags a finger tauntingly and begins signing to Misha with the manner of a squad leader giving directions to his fellow soldiers. It didn't seem like you were in any rush to get to the library, Hee-chan. That's right, Shi-chan. It does seem like he was probably going to slack off for the rest of the day. Ha 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 ha! You're surrounded! Shizune signs. Let's go to the student council room. She lets out a chuckle and then breaks into laughter. I'm sorry, Hee-chan. I feel bad, but this works out for everyone, right? Shizune signs some more. That's right, Shi-chan. Yes, that's a good point, too. Yes, this is beneficial to everyone. It solves all our problems. She continues signing. Yeah. I also thought he'd be more appreciative of our efforts. They pull themselves closer as if they are about to pounce. Hey guys, 2-on-1 isn't very fair, is it? I say. Shizune begins signing. She keeps looking forward, impassive, then gives a sinister smile. Come on, we have a lot of work to do. Let's go to the student council room. Gee, I say, I don't know. Misha laughs. Deja vu? She chortles before letting out another laugh. Ha ha ha! You know, my horoscope said it'd be a good day for me today. And now that you're going to help, Shizune signs quickly to her. Right. I mean, now that you've decided to help us, completely of your own free will, I will be able to take it easy. Lucky, huh? I open my mouth to say something, but then realize there's no point. I refocus on trying to think of a way out of this. No, their actions are clearly deliberate. There's no sense in attempting to reason with them. You can't reason with madmen. I frown, and they don't even seem to notice my discontent, further proving my suspicions. They seem pretty relaxed now. I guess they think they've already won, so they're letting their guard down. That's kind of arrogant. They pass forward in front of me as they move through the doorway, and I stealthily walk backwards back into the classroom as they step into the hallway, turning toward the stairwell. I let out a sigh of relief and quickly pack the rest of my stuff so I can make my escape. The classroom door slams shut. Shizune signs. That wasn't very nice there, ha ha ha. You really got us good, though, didn't he, Chi-chan? She continues. Right, ha ha ha. What was that about? I thought you said you'd help us. And then you bailed on us, and you thought you would get away with it, didn't you? The indignant expression vanishes, and she begins to laugh hysterically, calming down only after an aggravated look from Shizune. Oh, yeah, you thought you could get away with it, but a criminal always returns to the scene of the crime. I didn't even manage to leave the classroom in the first place. No, wait, I didn't even agree to help in the first place. Not very bright, are you, criminal? Thinking you can just shirk your duties like that. How low, Hee-chan. I tell them, I'm a criminal? What did I do? What's the charge? What am I guilty of? That's for the courts to decide, criminal. I don't think we have to tell you that. Besides, you're the criminal here. You know what you did. Have you ever read The Trial by Kafka, I ask her. No, what's that, Hee-chan? What does that have to do with this? I read it a few months ago, I say. It's about these people who run a kangaroo court on a guy who just wants to live his life. They refuse to leave him alone, and he can't fight the power. Shizune signs and continues. Hee-chan, what does that have to do with anything? Hey, what does that mean? She turns back to me after signing back and forth for a lengthy amount of time. You know, we're both a little disappointed in you. You've let us down, Hisao. Drop the ball. Shizune continues. Left us hanging and out in the cold. Is that any way to treat a person? To run away from your responsibilities? To abandon your comrades? We think you owe it to us to honor your commitment. What? I say. But I didn't commit to anything. My breathing catches in my throat and I momentarily start choking. Shizune signs. That's not true, Hichan. You said you were not useless. You definitely said it. Yes. Definitely, definitely, definitely. We are calling you on those words now. You better prepare to show you are not a useless guy. Your honor will be soiled forever if you try to get out of this. So for the rest of the day, we are going to hang out together, just the three of us, and work hard. Shizune continues. You can't fool us. You should be happy. You're doing your school a great service. Ask not what your school can do for you, but what you can do for your school. Ha 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 ha. How depressing. Cheer up, Hichan. She slaps me hard across the back with enough strength to knock the air out of my lungs. I gasp to breathe. Besides, aren't you happy you get to spend the day with two cute girls? Ha ha ha. I guess they're right. I did blurt those words out. Accepting my fate, I follow them to the student council room. All right, and we have returned. We began with the fateful decision that we ended last turn with. The don't drag me into this, hey, come on, cut me and Lilly some slack question. The one that kind of depends. It is another one of the very important decisions that kind of narrows down your path here. If you take their side essentially and saying don't drag me into this, I've done my part, well, it's less taking their side and more not taking Lily's side. Then you narrow down your choices a good deal with going down the Lilly and Hanako path. It is still possible to get over there on that side. If you've taken Lily and their side or neutral sides in some of the previous questions. But with the choices we've made, where we've been choosing Shizune's and Misha's areas, we are pretty much at this point narrowed into the Shizune path or the Rin path with the decisions that we've made. And so we will be reaching another critical decision here shortly. I don't know, it may happen at the end of the next episode. And at that point, we will be starting down Amy's path. I was considering whether just to continue on down Shizune's path, since essentially we've done the entire groundwork for it, but in like manner, we've done the entire groundwork for the Amy path as well. And part of the reason why I've chosen Shizune so many times is that there is a particular scene that is very hard to get. They say it's a rare scene depending on what decisions you make. And I've purposely been making these decisions for the Shizune path while still intending to go down the Amy path, just to make sure that we get to see that scene, because I don't think I did it the previous time whenever I went down, when I stumbled down Amy's path the very first time that I played. So we will be joining you back here shortly. And we will be continuing on with our adventures here in the School for the Disabled.